Hello and welcome to 100 Yards of Football Sports Talk Radio. I'm your producer, Jeremiah Long, and joining me here to talk about Ben Cleveland, the offensive tackle from the University of Georgia, is the man himself, a guy who brings us draft profiles each week. So many, in fact, that a couple years from now, the draft profile people are going to come back and be like, yo, why didn't you talk about me? And the other ones are going to be like, I'm having a great career in the NFL. Thanks for talking about me when I was still in college. Without further ado, Logan Landers. What's up, man?
What up, Jeremiah? Always a pleasure to be on every Monday with you doing these amazing draft profiles. Over the past couple of weeks, we've been talking about the big guys, the guys on the offensive line. We're keeping that trend going this week, brother. We're going with Ben Cleveland today, the young guy out of Georgia, right down the road from us. We film in Atlanta, and man, he's looking good. I'll tell you that. But as usual for Mondays, I'm ready to talk some more football with you, and hopefully, like you said, these guys can look back in a few years and look at the videos that me and you did about them and see, like, man, they were right all along, or we completely missed the mark. We'll see.
That's absolutely right. Well, without further ado, if you are watching us on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook, then make sure you like, subscribe, and share it. And be sure to listen to us on our podcast every week. Without further ado, Logan, take us away.
Yeah, let's talk about Ben Cleveland. So, like we always say about most offensive linemen that we cover, this guy is a wall. And you can see why just in the picture if you're watching us. He's 6'6", 354 pounds. So there's not much getting past him. There's not many meals he's missing. Big guy, but very productive too. I will say I was reading up on him, doing my research as usual, and he said that whenever Georgia's Pro Day happens in just a few weeks here, that he's aiming to break the bench press record that was set at the NFL Combine. Now, there's not going to be a Combine this year due to all the COVID stuff, but they are going to have their draft days, or their pro days, basically. So he's going to try and break the record set. So the record right now is 49 reps of 225 pounds. And he's got all the strength to do it, and I think he might be able to pull it off because he's just got to get 50. He's got to get one more.
Yeah.
But I'm looking to see what he can do. The pro day is on, March 17th. So that's when we're going to be, circling our calendars and seeing if Mr. Cleveland can break that record of 49 reps at 225. I think he can do it. I know you're hoping he can do it. I know all of us on our team is hoping this big guy can break a record that's very impressive, especially for offensive linemen. Because if you show that at your pro day that you can beat the bench press record, you got to believe that he's got to shoot his rank up a little bit more in terms of just the strength that he's going to possess. So we'll see what he can do. We're all rooting for him here, and I'll be sure to keep an eye out on that. But other than that, though, I'm looking forward to see how he's going to do in the NFL. And he had a very good career for the University of Georgia. Go Dogs, first off. So this guy, he has a lot of good attributes to him. But I do think that his size, obviously, and like we just mentioned, his power are the two biggest keys to where he's going to get drafted and to boost his draft stock. He's got a lot of size and he's going to have a lot of power. And like we said, if he can keep that good frame of 6'6", 350, he'll be set. And if he can break that combine record, even get close enough to breaking it, then he'll be drafted high as well. I think he's going to make his draft stock go up a little bit higher. Right now, he's projected to go about day 2, maybe day 3. But I do think if he can get close to that record, he'll get rid of all the day 3 comparisons and get on closer to the day 2. So, some more reasons that I like this guy is just because, man, he's a really strong right guard. That's where he primarily played for the Bulldogs. He's strong. He's upright. And the thing that's really good about him is he is a excellent run blocker, man. He is going to block everyone out the way in order to make room for the running backs, create a bunch of room for them to sneak in those holes. And that's where he's excelling at, man. And if you got – it's looking now that the NFL is looking to get more kind of a bigger, broader offensive line in order to create those holes for both the passing game and the running game. They're just getting larger and larger. And Ben Cleveland's a great example of how the NFL offensive line is translating nowadays. Mm-hmm. But while his run blocking is, I believe, phenomenal, his pass blocking could use a little bit of help, but it's not too far away from being really good, though. He is very good at the run block, but like I said, the pass block does need a little bit of work. But I think that with, just some coaching, some more training, being in the NFL, getting that experience, which is unmatched, I think that he could become a very good pass blocker as well. So back when he was with Georgia, he started 9 games for UGA this past season. All 9. They went 7-2. Like we know, they won the Peach Bowl. So he got a little bit of championship under him. It's not the main one, but he did get a little bit. He got bowl win, so not too shabby. He was also recognized as first team All SEC this past season, which was his credit, just to show just how good he was. So he's coming off of a very good season, and it's looking to see, man. He's looking really good, and I'm excited to see how he's going to do. He's also got a lot of quickness, honestly, for a guy his size. Yeah. Just footwork is pretty quick, and it's pretty shocking just to see basically a boulder of that size running at you with good lateral movement and good quick speed. Like I said, his technique is right there too. He just needs a little bit of fine tuning, and he'll be right there, Jeremiah. I promise you that. But he's looking really good. I think that he's going to be projected very well. There's a little bit of a small issue that some people might have with him, is because he had a fractured fibula in 2018. He had a sprained ankle during the week of Senior Bowl practice not too long ago. But I think that's not going to hinder his draft stock too much, just because it is just a sprained ankle. That's going to be pretty easy for him to recover. And a guy of his size, that's not going to be any issues for him to get some more weight on that and to get better, get stronger. And I'm looking forward to see what Ben was going to do in the NFL. And like we've been doing the last couple of weeks, Jeremiah, I've got my 3 teams who I think this young man might go to. So the first team I have is the Seattle Seahawks. I know the Seahawks, Russell Wilson's been saying he needs some help. He's been getting sacked way too much. Well, what better way to go than with 6'6", 354-pound Ben Cleveland out of the University of Georgia. Yeah. My second pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers, they got Ben Roethlisberger. He's still there. He's kicking it for at least another season, it's going to look like. So you need a little bit of help to protect your franchise quarterback. And they also have James Conner, who looks like he might return. And if he can get a big lineman to get some better blocking for him, I think that could create some more opportunities for him in the running game, because they have struggled there in the past couple of seasons, which people may believe that might be the reason why they haven't been able to get a little bit higher in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And finally, the third team that I pick, and this is one where I think all the draft guys want to go, because they're going to get a very good quarterback with their first pick, and that is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars, they're getting Trevor Lawrence. We've talked about him countless times on the show. Everyone watching knows what he can do. Absolute insane athlete, great quarterback, going to be taken number 1 without a doubt. Well, you need some help for your star quarterback. You got to protect him with all your might. And why not go with Ben Cleveland to protect him? He's got a lot of experience. He's played in the SEC, one of the best conferences in college football. He played at Georgia, which is a very good program. They had a good season last year. And he's looking like he'll fit the part. And I think that if he goes to any of these 3 teams, that he would start for them. He'd work up a little bit. He gets some starts for them, and he would be a very good offensive lineman in the NFL. I'm looking forward to see how he's going to do. And I really think that Ben Cleveland will be a good success story in the NFL.
Well, we definitely want to see him get to the NFL, because just like you said, we need somebody in any of these teams, Seattle Seahawks, Pittsburgh Steelers, or Jacksonville Jaguars. They need somebody who is going to be able to protect those quarterbacks, especially if you're talking about whether you're talking about a team that's rebuilding and just needs more time for that quarterback in the pocket, or somebody who's just got, somebody who's aging maybe a little bit and, just needs a little extra, one more extra step so he can get it out. So either one of those, that's going to be great for Ben. So everybody who's watching, please tell us, do you agree with Mr. Landers' picks? Do you think that Ben Cleveland will get drafted to the Seattle Seahawks, to the Pittsburgh Steelers, or to the Jacksonville Jaguars? Make sure to put us in the comments. Tell us exactly what you think. And even if you want to create an entire reaction video to what you think about our coverage, please feel free to do that. We've seen a lot of people started to do those types of things on YouTube and on some other platforms, and we're more than welcome to take any kind of reaction videos. So let me ask you one more question about Ben Cleveland. Okay, so what do you think are keys to getting noticed coming into the draft?
Well, like we talked about in the opening, Jeremiah, if he can break that combine bench press record, he'll get a lot of eyes on him shortly thereafter. There's a lot of game footage on him. Just his size alone, I think, is what's making a lot of scouts look at him. That's a big man right there, and that's what you want for your offensive line, is just a big, burly guy who's going to be able to stand tall, do really good in the run blocking game. He's going to develop a little bit more for pass blocking, but I think overall the big keys for him is just stay healthy, stay on the field, and just put your work in. Just go in the weight room and start getting those practice reps ready for that pro day. And I think he's going to be very good in the NFL. I hope that he has a great career, Hall of Fame career, like we always like to say here. And I'm looking forward to see where Ben Cleveland goes. He had a really good career at Georgia. And as long as he can stay healthy, he's going to help any offense wherever he lands up, especially in the running game. And then a little bit later on in life in the passing game, I'm looking forward to see where he goes.
Absolutely. I think we all are, especially all of our University of Georgia fans, which we have a lot of them here at 100 Yards of Football. And all those fans that are watching right now, too, thank you so much for watching us on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. And make sure you jump over and watch our podcast or listen to our podcast, which you can get over on Spotify. And here's what it looks like. Just look up 100 Yards of Football over on Spotify, and our podcast will come right up. You can also go over to Apple Music and listen to Apple Podcast version. Again, it's 100 Yards of Football. So if you like podcasts, you're going to love us. We put out a new podcast every day pretty much. We're doing draft picks. We're doing entire recruiting classes. We're going to get back into game coverage, once the season's back in there. And we'll always have all the information you need to make a great pick, whether you're talking about your fantasy league, you're talking about the stats, you know what I mean, or you're talking about just keeping up with your favorite teams and your favorite fandoms. So that's one of the big things that we think is very important. So for the entire team here, I'm Jeremiah Long, the producer, and you've been listening to Logan Landers, who brings us these incredible, in-depth draft profiles each week, multiple ones. So thank you very much for that, Mr. Landers, and for the entire team here at 100 Yards of Football, which includes Mr. Football himself, Vincent Turner, two-time All-American Bobby Butler, our coaching expert, Kevin Bull-Jones, and we've even got some people that will be coming in to talk about some other sports at some point soon. So thank you so much for joining us. We are 100 Yards of Football, Sports Talk Radio, and we'll see you in just a second on another draft profile.